Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is the 24th. It's a Friday for the weekly wrap-up. Let's turn over to the grain hedge trading platform and see where we closed off the day. Corn trading down 7 cents to $3.69 3/4. Soybeans down 10 cents to $9.70 even, and Chicago wheat trading down 12.5 cents here, leading the charge to the downside, closing off the week here at $4.88 3/4. Let's take a look at the damage here to the charts. I'll talk a little bit about corn here right now. Of course, first of all, we did have a nice reportable sale. 121,000 metric tons was reported out here to unknown destinations for old crop, but that was unable to help corn hang in here and stay on this support level. We broke through that support level, ended up kind of trending lower, closing the day on the low side of the range. A little bit disappointing. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we do get a little bit of support here from this very mild sloped trend line lower here, right around 360. So do keep that in mind if you are trading corn next week. Let's talk a little bit about soybeans here. You'll notice that we're kind of chopping around between the 50 and 20-day moving average, really unable to pierce that 50-day. That 50-day moving average offered up a pretty significant resistance, a little bit more than I anticipated here, really unable to get above that. We'll have to see if we start to cut back over and retest these lows, or if we can kind of hang in here. Overall, we did get news out of Argentina here that they're increasing their overall country production to 59 million metric tons from 58. This is higher than the current USDA forecast, and it was a little bit bearish here today. Also, we did get, when we talk about soybeans, Brazil trucker strike here. It started to flare up yesterday. We went from about 11 trucker strike locations in Brazil on the morning of Thursday to about 17 by the evening. That's nowhere near the highs that we saw a couple months, or within the last month or so, when we had over 100 locations that were blocking traffic and really causing chaos on their logistics. But today it seems like it is kind of dispersing a little bit, moving from around 17 last night down to about 14 here today. So bottom line, it doesn't seem to be picking up steam. In contrary to that, it seems to be kind of sputtering out down there. We'll have to see if that trucker strike hangs in there. If it goes more than a couple of days, it could have some impacts on the ports, but we'll have to see whether or not that is the case over the weekend. And wheat, of course, trading lower here today. Unfortunately, it just continues to roll over. The moisture over the last couple of weeks really seems to help things out. Excellent planting pace here for spring wheat. Spring wheat over the last week, we had 36% planted on Monday. I would anticipate another large jump here for that spring wheat planted acreage in the Monday crop progress report. One thing to keep in mind is that really over the last couple weeks, we have gotten a good amount of moisture in the plains region, but parts of that panhandle of Oklahoma, the western part of the panhandle for Texas, and some of Kansas there was left without very much precipitation. For the most part, precipitation ranged anywhere between 1/2 inch to about 5 inches, with over half of the plains area getting at least over 2 inches of precipitation. This certainly helps that topsoil, but when you look at the subsoil moisture here, that's going to begin to play a role here over the next week if we don't get more precipitation in the forecast. So just keep an eye on that. Just because we got good drink down there and kind of help the overall crop out here over the last couple weeks doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods just yet. So pay close attention to that forecast on Monday, looking out over the 8 to 14 to 15 day time period. We'll have to see if that offers any sort of precipitation here. If so, that could provide a reason why we break through these lows. If not, maybe this low will hold. So we'll just have to see here going into the next week of trade. Let's talk a little bit about the cash basis. Of course, it is Friday. We always touch on the basis changes here, and you'll notice corn and soybeans both for the most part up about a penny. When you look at corn here, the river, we did get a little bit of strength, but certainly not much. The Gulf was mostly unchanged. Ethanol remains relatively strong, but no change here on the week. Soybean is a slightly different story. We do have some processors that bid up on the eastern part of the grain belt, up about 5 to 7 cents on the week. But for the most part, soybeans, again, on average basis, up only a cent here. The Gulf was actually down a penny, and the river market was able to improve here about 3 cents on the week. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. Remember, if you haven't done so already, planting is starting to pick up pace. You can do this on your smartphone. Take a demo of our trading platform. Just go to grainhedge.com, click on the 14-day free trial in the top right-hand corner, put in your name and number. We'll get in touch with you. You can just download the mobile platform, and for the next 2 weeks as you're planting, you can view the live quotes in the cab of your tractor, in the cab of the planter. You'll be able to view those live quotes tick for tick from your mobile phone. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any questions, again, please give us a call. Have a great weekend. We'll see you here on Monday.